Hello crafters and welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. My name is Deepa from Designs by D and today I have this beautiful easel card to share with you. We're going to be using some products from Altenew, so I hope that you're ready to get started. So let's take a look at what we're going to be using. I have the Build-A-Garden Leaning Lily set here, and this set is so fun. I love the Build-A-Garden sets because not only do you get the stamp, the coordinating die, and stencils, but you also get this fun mini blending brush, which I really love because it does a good job of getting a lot of ink onto your image. It saves you a lot of time in terms of getting that ink on the image where you want it, and it's so small and efficient. Now we have the coordinating stencil dies and the stamp set, and keep in mind that the die set only cuts out 3 of the larger sentiments and the floral. So I'm going to start off by stamping out my floral image. I'll line up the Leaning Lily on a white card panel. This is A2 size, which is the perfect size to stamp this out on. I'm using some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. Now, again, because I am ink blending, it doesn't really matter what ink I'm using, but if you decide that you maybe want to color these in with some Copics, you might want to make sure that you're using some Copic-friendly ink, like some Memento Tuxedo Black. But for me, with the coordinating stencils, I really don't need to. So I've gone ahead and I've stamped that out. I'm using some Pink Fresh Studio ink with the stencils to add some color. I've got some Coral Reef, Mango Sorbet, Mint, and Sage. Now I'm going to note the stencils that I'm using in the top left corner here, so you know as I go along which one I'm using, if maybe you want to refer back to this video or so it makes a little more sense to you. I hope that adding that maybe helps a little bit. But for me, I always like to take out my stencils and kind of look at what I'm going to be using and then use that to determine how many colors and what colors I should use. The stencil guide that comes with the packaging that you can see to the left of my hand there, it really comes in handy for doing that as well. So I started off with stencil 1, which has 2 sections on it, which I am denoting in the top left there. So there's like a squiggly line on the stencil, and the top half of the stencil, you put it on and put one color, and then you reposition it for the bottom half of the stencil, and you can put on this different color or a darker tone or however you want to do it. I've gone ahead and I've used the Coral Reef as like my main tone of the flower petals, and then I'm darkening it up in the center with the Mango Sorbet. Now for that leaf that's kind of hanging off the edge there, not the leaf, sorry, the floral petal, and then you've also got the buds. I did add some of the mint green at the bottom of the bud to kind of identify like the greeny portion of the bud kind of growing into the orangey petals. The third stencil is entirely one stencil. It's not sectioned off, and that just gets the stamen, so the center of the flower. And then it also has those longer glade-like leaves. Now I'm adding the mint, and then I'm adding some of the sage, which is a little darker, to create 2 tones on these leaves, just like I did on the petals. I find that this creates like a dark to light color, which creates more contrast, and also it kind of gives more of like a realistic look and flowing look to the leaves and the petals. For the 4th stencil, we're just kind of filling in a bit more details in the center of the flower, and then and on the leaves. And then for the second part of the stencil at the bottom, we've got the stems for the buds, which I thought should be darker, so I just used sage on that and just added a bunch of that in there. And that's how the floral looks. Next step will be to cut this out. So I'm using the coordinating die here, and I'm just going to simply line it up and put it through my die cutting machine. Now, I've mentioned this before, I do all my die cutting off camera because I have the larger Platinum XL by Spellbinders. So if there are smaller dies, I do kind of use my smaller die cutting machine on screen, but any die cutting is done off screen. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Y'all know how to die cut, right? So next I'm going to work on a background. Now I'm actually going to create 2 of these panels for my card, but I'm just going to show you one because it's pretty much the same thing. Nothing too fancy. I'm using the Geometric Mix stencil, which is also available in the ScrapbookPal store. It is a stencil that was released a few months ago by Altenew, and I just like that you can section it off into triangles here because that's part of the geometric design of the stencil, and that's all I'm going to be doing. So I've got some Post-it removable labeling tape, and I am simply going to section off these triangles and add some ink. I'm using 3 colors of ink, again, Pink Fresh Studio inks in Ocean Breeze, Turquoise, and then I'm going to use a coral reef, which we used on the flower, and that was done intentionally to allow the colors to flow from the background to the foreground on that floral leaning lily that we just inked up. So, as I mentioned, nothing too tedious going on here. It looks like it takes long because I have to keep positioning the labeling tape there, but it really didn't take that long at all. It doesn't add too much time to your ink blending process. So I've done all of the Ocean Breeze triangles. I'm making sure to choose some triangles which point up and some points down to create that randomness in the design. And I'm just going to just keep adding that ink there. Like I said, nothing too technical here, very simple to do. If you wanted, you can maybe like do a fade, but I just decided to put like the ink down in one color. And you will notice that the way these inks are, when you put down the ink, it may look a little splotchy, but over time it evens out. So don't worry too much about that as you're laying down the ink. Now, I kept this in the video here as like a mistake. Hopefully you can learn from me, and I should have known better. I think I was just lazy, but I used the same labeling tape that I used to ink up the blues with the coral reef, and the colors kind of mixed a bit, and I got a little bit of like a purple down there at the bottom of that first triangle. So you might want to just splurge on a little bit of the extra post-it tape in order to section off the coral reef triangles and keep them separate from the blues so that you don't get any mixing of ink and start forming purples like I was doing. But it's okay. I still use this panel. You don't really notice it. I think I might have used it on the front and it gets a bit covered up, so it's not a big deal. So I did do this on 2 panels, as I mentioned. We're going to use one on the front of the card and one on the inside of the card to create a continuous design. And it will make more sense once I put it together and we get the easel portion of the card going. But this is how it looks in the end. You will notice there are like 4 or 5 maybe triangles that I didn't add any color to, and that was done intentionally. It just lends to the design, and I think it looks really nice. Plus, it's less work, right? So now I'm grabbing the Pink Fresh Studio Dotted Fancy Frames dies, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the middle dies. So the middle frame, there are 2 dies you can create like a layered frame or an outline. I'm going to grab the larger frame and cut it out of some gold metallic cardstock, and I'm going to grab the smaller frame and just cut it out of white to layer this up and create that nice frame with the nice gold on the outline on the outside. I'm also grabbing the smaller frames and doing the exact same thing. This is going to go on the inside of the card with our sentiment. So next step will be to stamp out the sentiment for the inside. Now I am purposely choosing a sentiment that doesn't have a coordinating die because it is going on this panel, which worked out perfectly for me. The sentiment that I'm stamping out is "Even in a Storm, You Bloom." This card is an encouragement card, and I think a lot of us need these types of cards. I think sometimes I just make them for myself because I like seeing the sentiments and then they get stuck in my head, and it kind of just helps with my day-to-day thinking as well. So I've gone ahead and I've stamped that out for the center of the card. Now I'm grabbing my sentiment for the front, and this one says, "May each day bring you new strength." I'm going to heat emboss this on some like gray charcoal metallic cardstock. This is specialty cardstock. You can use anything that you have that works. I thought the gray just looked really nice and kind of broke up all of the colors that we have going on a bit. So it makes the sentiment stand out a little more. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it out with some VersaFine Clear watermark ink. I did use my anti-static powder tool, which is very important on this metallic cardstock because that embossing powder will stick just from static. Then I'm going to go ahead and heat it very carefully. Remember, because it's a specialty cardstock, it has a coating. And so you have to be careful not to hold your heat gun on it for too long, or it could melt the cardstock or that coating that's on top of it. So you have to keep moving it around. Now that I've got that melted to the cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and use a coordinating die to cut out the sentiment. And then I can just kind of set that aside. And I think now I have basically all of the elements I need to put my cards together. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. Now I have an A2 size top folding white card base, which is what I'm going to be using. I'm grabbing the two geometric panels that we created that background on, and I'm going to cut them down slightly. I'm cutting off 1/4 of an inch from the top and the side to create a 1/8 of an inch border all around. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach these to my card base. So I've got one for the front of the card, and then I'm going to have one that goes on the inside of the card, just on the bottom portion. If you wanted, you could add one on like the top panel as well, but that's going to really bulk up the front of your card, and we also have to score it to create the easel, so keep that in mind. So I've gone ahead and I've added the panel to the front. Nothing fancy, just some tape runner here. Now, I think I already mentioned before, everything I'm using in this video is going to be linked down in the description below. You can check everything out in the ScrapbookPal store. And on top of that, if there's something that I'm using that might be out of stock or maybe it's not available anymore, I will link something similar for you. So I'm going to go ahead and score the front part of this card. So the front panel, I'm going to score it at 2 3/4. That's going to split it in half because the front panel is 5.5 inches. I'm going to create a nice score fold there, and you can see how that's going to create the easel that we're going to end up with in the end. So next step is to put together our frame for the front of the card. So I'm just going to glue the white panel, white frame onto the gold. And now I'm going to line this up with my card. So luckily this frame kind of denotes the center of the frame by those like points that are coming out of the left and right side of the frame. So I'm actually going to line those points up with the score line on the front of the card. And I'm only going to add foam adhesive on the bottom portion of this frame because we want the top to be able to lift up when we create the easel here for this card. So I'm going to go ahead, attach the bottom part, and then I can attach this floral piece as well. You could prop it up with a bit more foam if you wanted to, but I think we have enough lift on this card, so I'm just going to use some tape runner and attach this. Now again, make sure none of the floral is being stuck to the background so that we can lift this up here, at least not on the top half. Now we can add our sentiment. So again, we are using some foam strips here. I love the variety of strips that you can get in the ScrapbookPal store. The squares that I have there are the larger squares. There are smaller squares, and they do come in a variety pack, link down below. And then the strip foam pieces are perfect for sentiments like this. Again, link down in the description below. Very handy. I use them for all my cards. I love it. So now for the center of my card, I have the sentiment on the frame for the inside. I'll go ahead and attach these together, and then I'm going to add some foam to the back of these. Now I did add the foam intentionally. It creates a little bit of a lip and allows your panel from the front to rest up against it to create the easel and hold it in place. And you'll see how that works right now. You see, you just kind of let it lay against that sentiment frame on the inside of the card, and you can see that geometric mixed background just flows from the front to the inside of the card, and it just looks gorgeous. So now my last step is going to be to add some bling. I've got some of the Altenew gem sparkles here, and this is the red jasper set, so you get some nice champagne colored gems, some orange and some red. I'm going to go with the champagne colored gems and just place some on the floral image and like a couple on the background there for a bit of fun. And that is basically going to finish up our card for today. I hope that you like this idea of the easel. I think that it works really well with this design and with the Altenew florals here. Everything that I've used is linked down in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And I again wish you a good day and hope to see you again next time. Bye.